Top 10 vacation destinations on a budget. One of the most prominent confusion people have when thinking about international travel is that it will cost a fortune. The reality is that most people can travel, frequently, long-term, on a relatively tight budget. Most people don't realize that the world is full of affordable destinations, and it doesn't require much effort to find them. No matter what continent, there are always places you can visit on a budget. Welcome back to another episode of Travel Champ, the home of all things travel on YouTube. We're passionate about exploring mind-blowing and fascinating places all over the world and love to share our knowledge with you. Subscribe to the channel now so you never miss out on any of our latest and greatest uploads. And come and join us on our journey. In this video, we will be talking about the top 10 vacation destinations on a budget. Let's begin with today's video. 10. Bolivia. Bolivia is a very ethnically diverse country. Bolivia is one of only 2 landlocked countries in South America. It is the most indigenous country in America, with a majority of the population having Native American ancestry. Unlike its neighbors, Peru, Chile, and Brazil, Bolivia remains an off-the-beaten-path destination. Intrepid travelers who make it here are rewarded with an abundance of adventure activities and some of the most beautiful landscapes on the continent. It is also where you'll find a cluster of museums, including the former home of Pedro Domingo Murillo, who led forces during the La Paz Revolution of 1809. With the famous salt flats, stunning architecture, cheap parties, and world-renowned trekking, this South African nation is your ultimate affordable travel destination that can easily be done on a budget. You'll be pleasantly surprised by how much there is to see and do in Bolivia. 9. Dominican Republic. If you want picturesque beaches on a budget, then this country has got you covered. If you want to travel to the Dominican Republic on a budget, it's possible to spend under $60 a day on accommodation, travel, and food. If you want all-day dining and activities, the Dominican Republic offers some incredible deals for all-inclusive holidays. If you eat where the locals eat, you can find cheap dishes and drinks while heading into town on local buses that cost less than $1, about 30 Dominican pesos. The VH Grand Ventana on the appropriately named Playa Dorada has 4 different restaurants, from gourmet Caribbean food to casual beachfront grill. It also has 3 swimming pools and includes water skiing, banana boats, and scuba diving. 8. Bulgaria. One of the most budget-friendly countries in Europe. In Bulgaria, you can find rooms as low as $20 per night. Even in the largest city, Sofia, Bulgaria has so much to offer travelers, from Black Sea beaches to the Balkan Mountains. Bulgaria's Black Sea resorts have undergone a bit of a boom with visitors in recent years. Despite becoming a burgeoning budget travel destination in Europe, many places outside of Sofia remain relatively untouched by bargain-hungry vacationers. And the further east you go, the cheaper it gets. Hike, scuba dive, or visit one of Bulgaria's dozens of remaining castles, all without breaking the bank. 7. Georgia. Do you happen to love mountains, wine, food, architecture, history, and culture? If so, then indeed you'll love Georgia. Georgia, the beautiful country in the Caucasus region between Europe and Asia, is another cheap travel destination curious to be explored. The way to get around Georgia is by marshrutka, the local minibus system for their Soviet era. Just a 3-hour drive to the mountain resort destination of 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞 costs less than $10. Also, Once you arrive in Tbilisi, Georgia's largest city, you can snag a small single room for less than $20 a night and feast on some of the world's most outstanding food. You'll also be blessed with incomparable views of the Caucasus Mountains and hiking opportunities for any adventurer. This small city is both stunning and budget-friendly, a real underrated gem for travelers in Europe, and definitely worth your time and money. 6. Malaysia. Malaysia is one of the cheapest countries to visit for a PADI open water diver certification. Getting around Malaysia was also surprisingly easy and affordable. The roads in Malaysia are in excellent condition, and the buses are comfortable. And if you choose to stick to cheap guest houses, good street food, and buses rather than flights and trains, you shouldn't spend more than $40 a day. You can also easily backpack Malaysia for as little as $15 a day. 5. Portugal. Compared to other European nations, backpacking in Portugal is very inexpensive. That's not to say Portugal is one of the cheapest places on the planet. Southeast Asia and Central America will always have some of the most affordable countries, so expectations need to be set. You could get by in Portugal on far less than these more extravagant nations. The cost of living in Portugal can be half of what you'd expect in Germany or France. You can go backpacking around Portugal comfortably for around $30 to $40 per day. This will get you a good room and a nice bed, groceries, some drinks or alcohol, and a ticket or two to the local attractions. Not too bad of a deal for only $30. 4. Croatia. Croatia is fast becoming one of the most popular budget destinations for backpackers exploring Europe. Croatia is blessed with over 2,000 kilometers of coast and has over 1,200 islands. The country is packed with picturesque coastal towns, stunning national parks, a brilliant food culture, and some of the best preserved Roman-era ruins outside of Italy. Croatia is much more affordable than many other places in the vicinity. And yes, there are indeed the touristy islands that attract the rich and famous, but all that can easily be avoided by visiting some of the lesser-known hidden gem islands. Plitvice is the most famous, but most of the others are far less visited and offer endless adventure potential. As far as European islands go, you can certainly find some great deals on accommodation. For example, you'll be able to get a large seafront apartment for around $50, as well as you can certainly travel comfortably to most places in Croatia for around $35 to $50 a day, especially in the off-season. 3. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is the picture-perfect paradise where you can feast on curry, trek in through the jungle, and stay in hotels on the beach for under $50 a day. When it comes to budget travel with beach views, you can't get much better than Sri Lanka. The temples, monasteries, and stupas sprinkled throughout the surrounding countryside offer a window into Sri Lanka's Buddhist culture. Sri Lanka is full of landscapes just begging to be explored by foot or train, and a smaller community of vibey backpackers spending their holiday hiking mountains or chilling on the pristine beaches. Highlights include the Sri Mahabodhaya, a tree temple in Anuradhapura, and the Sri Dalada Maligawa Temple of the Tooth and Candy, arguably the most sacred place on the entire island. Some of the best hostels in Sri Lanka will set you back about $7, and you can expect even less for the cheaper sort. 2. Eastern Europe. If you're looking to get off the beaten path, spend less money, and experience a different part of the continent, backpacking Eastern Europe is where it's at. In recent years, Eastern Europe has become the go-to destination for travelers wanting to escape the standard European backpacking route found in the western part of the continent. Most countries of Eastern Europe were part of the former Soviet Union, and the relics of those times are still viable across the region. As you head east through Europe, you enter a whole other world of backpacking protocol. There are many extraordinary backpacking delights to be had in this part of Europe. Backpacking Eastern Europe is one of the best time-spending activities for any aspiring adventurer. Beer is often the same price as bottled water. You can score a nice room and bed and breakfast for $10, and a long-distance bus ride for less than that. 1. Mexico. Mexico is a hard country to sum up in a few sentences. The massive North American nation covers nearly 2 million square kilometers and is home to just about every landscape imaginable. Mexico can be an incredibly cheap place to travel. It can, however, also be costly. It also depends on where you stay, what you eat, and how you get around. In 2016, it was the 8th most visited country on Earth, with over 35 million international visitors. Despite being one of the largest countries in Latin America and receiving many tourists each year, Mexico is still incredibly affordable. However, we'd recommend steering clear of the major resorts in places like Cancun if you want to get the best bang for your buck. In Mexico, you will find stunning beaches, rugged mountains, barren deserts, sprawling metropolises, and tropical rainforests. Backpacking Mexico is an incredible experience with endless options. In just one trip, you can wander around ancient Mayan cities, stroll through colorful colonial towns, explore one of the biggest cities in the world, and wind it all down on a pristine beach. That brings us to the end of today's video, all about the top 10 vacation destinations on a budget. What are your thoughts on these budget vacation destinations? Would you ever want to visit any of these vacation destinations? Get involved and let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the episode and found it interesting, subscribe to Travel Champ so you never miss out on any of our latest and greatest uploads. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.